So logically, we're going to head for a full ice age within a couple of thousand years. And when that happens, the Russians will come. So prepare. Vote for the Prime Minister that will fight the Russians in 2,000 years' time. Okay. Right, but in the last 1,000 years, the interglacial, you see there's been these peaks in temperature roughly every 100 or so years. But yeah, it's about that. This is, sorry, every 1,000 or so years. This is, we've had 9 of them before the current one. All the previous peaks have been warmer than this one. And there's been less CO2, according to official figures. So, the idea that CO2 is driving these peaks is nonsense, because there's less CO2 in all those other peaks, all of which are warmer. Okay, next one. What actually does happen is that when you have a warmer period, there's the medieval warm period, that is accompanied with higher solar activity. Now, solar activity is measured by carbon-14 formation in the upper atmosphere due to cosmic rays getting in, which would otherwise be blocked out by more solar activity, which is the magnetic activity from the sun affecting the Earth's magnetic activity, so to speak. So, when there's more magnetic activity, it's warmer, and when there's less, it's colder. So there's the little ice age, as it's called. It's called the more than minimum of solar activity. And in the middle of that, King Charles I had his head chopped off, for example, so you know where it happened. The Dickens winters are early 1800s, during the Napoleonic Wars. That was very cold. We are now in a modern era, which is warmer, but it is now getting a lot colder. This entered 2000, it's now gone down a lot since then. So let's have a look at the next graph, next slide. Right, what you do have in detail, if you look in the last 100 years, this is American data, and if it doesn't happen in America, it doesn't happen anywhere in the world, okay? But the American data is the best in the world, before it's been adjusted, that is. The temperatures you see oscillating with a 60-year cycle, basically. And also the amplitude of fluctuation goes up and down with a 60-year cycle. So the peaks and the amplitude change with a roughly 60-year cycle. Whereas carbon dioxide has just been going up. So they correspond moving up together here, they're moving in opposite directions there. They're moving together here, opposite there. So the idea that CO2 is controlling something which is varying more than itself is ridiculous. It's just not physics. It's nonsense. Complete nonsense, dare I say. Now, what they say is, oh yes, but Piers, look here, we've got sudden rapid warming. Okay, and they show, oh, you can hide it here. So they just show that one. You see, rapid warming now to do with CO2. Oh, okay. But they don't tell you 60 years before there was more rapid warming, and 60 years before that there was more rapid warming. And if we can understand the 60-year period, which is a beat actually between the magnetic cycles of the sun, which are 22 years. The sun goes up and down with intensity of solar activity or sunspots every 11 years, but the magnetic field changes direction. So we've got a 22-year magnetic cycle. And the moon goes around the Earth, but its orbit crosses the Earth's orbit. And where it crosses the Earth's orbit, that changes in space. And where it crosses and you have a full moon or a new moon, then you get an eclipse. Now, that line of nodes, as it's called, rotates backwards. And so it's pointing towards the sun one way or the opposite way every 9 years. So every so often, the 22-year signal and the 9-year signal are going to come together. And the average frequency at which they come together is just like music, just like notes and beats between notes. You can get beats with the 22-year takeoff, or sorry, the 9-year takeoff twice the magnetic cycle. and you get 58 years out of it. You see, it's like, 7 9s are 63 and 3 22s are 66, or try the lower numbers as well. So the average turns out 58, 59, 60 years. So that's where that comes from, we think. Okay? And only this is explained by Weather X and not anyone else, but no one disputes what we're saying now. Well, they might do. But anyway, carry on. Right, the last 10 years, the global warming promised an increase in temperature. They said it was going to go up by half a degree or so. It didn't. Nothing went up, and it was flat. Again, another failure of their predictions. Next one. They got lots of models which say rising. Actual observations of data from satellites and blooms shows constant or now falling. There's some more recent data which shows these things are falling. However, there are attempts to modify this data as well, so be careful. However, nobody in official circles says that the satellite measurements are showing warming now. They're showing cooling or static. And the most recent ones definitely show cooling. Okay, next one. Now, this is an important graph. This is based by Timo Laroma, a Finn, part of the International Climate Skeptics email group that I was part of for some years. He pointed out that if you take solar activity averaged over a 22-year cycle, because the magnetic cycle of the sun is 22 years, then if it's smoothed out over that sort of time or longer, then you'll find that it does correspond to world temperatures, reasonably. So what he did, because we don't have many world temperatures in the past, but we've got more measurements of solar activity from carbon-14 dating, he plotted two graphs separated by 10 Hale cycles, 10 magnetic cycles of the sun, 221 years. So this one starts at 1600, this one starts at 1821. They go along together, reasonably, and he died about here. But he said, look, if what's going to happen follows what happened 221 years ago, there's only one place to go, namely extremely cold. So we're here at the knee of this curve. So around 2030, 2035, 2040, around there, we'll reach the bottom of a new cooling period. Okay? And we are moving there now. Okay. That is the thing to worry about. It's the only graph to remember. This is just to show you that solar activity has been very low recently and is carrying on very low. Next one. In the last few years, we've had more and more interesting, very cold spells. I think it's fair to say that the move towards this little ice age started about 10 years ago. The winter of 2009-10 was very cold, and then 2010-11 we had that super cold December, if you recall, which we predicted in Weather Action, the coldest for 100 years. And the Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron, said it was the coldest for 100 years, so it must be true, mustn't it? Okay, next one. Yeah, well, this is the following. This is last winter, not, it's 18, 19, no, 17, 18, I think. But it doesn't matter, we had these ice on the shores in Europe and so forth. Next one, and this is pictures of the jet stream, showing all varying. Next one. Yeah, the facts about what's happening in Greenland are not what you're told very often by the BBC. There's actually more ice in Greenland than there has been for a very long time, a total amount of ice. They show you pictures of glaciers breaking away and then say, oh my God, look, the ice falling off is 4,000 years old. Okay. Well, so you're meant to think, my God, this is the warmest for 4,000 years. But look, if a tree blows over and that tree's 100 years old, does that mean this is the biggest gale for 100 years? No, it means it's an old tree. Well, the reason why this ice is 4,000 years old is that it takes 4,000 years for ice to move from the centre of Greenland to the edges. That's all. So all the ice is 4,000 years old. There's nothing special there. So they're misusing data. And actually, the Jacobs Harven Glacier, which is the most significant glacier in the world, is growing. And it's been growing for the last couple of years. Okay? That's the biggest glacier in Greenland, of course. Next one. The North Atlantic, as we speak, generally speaking, has been getting colder in recent years. You can see those data there. Since about 2005, it's getting colder. Now, what happens in the North Atlantic is complicated, because bits will be warmer, but other bits are colder. But basically, the coastal parts near Europe and Britain are getting colder. Next one. This is another one of our graphs where we predicted last summer great heat in summer 2018. Now, the BBC said to you this is the warmest it's ever been, and it's a world heat wave and all that. Well, they didn't tell you it was actually very cold in Russia and in Japan and so forth. And on end of July, July the 30th, and this was our map for that sort of 5 days around there, 28th of July to the 1st of August, which is a very accurate map. 30th of July, the average temperature of the landmass in the Northern Hemisphere was 0.2 degrees centigrade below normal. They told you of the heat wave that was happening in Western Europe. Well, it was a heat wave, it was significant, of course. But to call it a world thing was nonsense. Okay, next one. It's very cold in Australia as well, and right now it is also extremely cold in Australia. The figures in Australia at present are that it's there's been more snow in Australia. It's the snowiest for 20 years, and Russia, in Moscow right now, or in this August, is turning out to be so far the coldest Moscow for 150 years. So we're getting somewhere cold. All right, next one. That's more of the same. The Arctic is not actually expanding in ice anymore. Sorry, shrinking in ice. The ice is now expanding. And another one of those ships of climate forces, I call them, got stuck heading for the North Pole a few months ago. But the BBC only showed you them leaving. They didn't show you them turning back after, a day or two. Okay, next one. Yeah, pictures of the jet stream. An important thing, though, to understand about the generally cold spells is because of the wild jet stream, they're not going to be cold all the time. Now, in 1666, the Great Fire of London, the Great Fire was preceded by what was called the Belgian wind. Now, we know that bad things come from Belgium, so this is not surprising. And then Belgium used to be further south, so basically Calais and those parts were all part of Belgium, right? So the Belgian wind had been blowing hot for 3 weeks, and then we had the Great Fire of London on a completely parched London. The fire was probably lit by people who were playing games with property, but who knows? Anyway, that was the point. We had a very hot spell in the middle of the Maunder minimum, the cold spell. The winters each side of this, and for some years, had the Thames frozen over. Right? So it was overall extremely cold, but there were very hot spells in the middle. So the thing about Little Ice Age is not just cold, it's basically cold winters with extreme cold, but there will be hot spells due to wild jet stream, which is what we've been having recently. So what we're seeing now are signs of Little Ice Age circulation patterns. Okay, next one. That's more of the wild, super wild jet stream. Carry on. Does anyone know Fourier analysis? No. Nobody's heard of it? School. So anybody do A-level here in physics or maths? One then. Fourier analysis. Fourier. Fourier. Yeah, well done. Okay. So Fourier analysis, you get a data set, you can look at it. Like if I had a data set of temperatures in Oldham, it would go up and down with an annual cycle. And you could put it into a calculator and it would say, oh yeah, the main signal there is 1 year. But there'll be other signals, right? Fourier analysis will find you the signals. I mean, you make assumptions about this, but that's basically what it does. And we did this, for example, for geomagnetic activity, measured on Earth, and that geomagnetic activity is caused by the 11-year cycle of solar activity. So you measure geomagnetic activity, and you see the main signal is 11 years. That's right, makes sense. However, you look at world temperatures, the main signal is 22 years. Twice the period. And that is because the important connection is the magnetic links between the Sun and the Earth. And it's also important to note that this means that the idea that cosmic rays are the agent by which the Sun and the Earth are connected is incorrect. Because if it's cosmic rays, they're going to be blotted out with an 11-year signal. So the world temperature should have an 11-year cycle. But they don't. We have a 22. There is probably a very small 11-year cycle, but it's not a deal. The main thing is the 22. So the cosmic ray connection between the Sun and the Earth is incorrect. Cosmic rays may be important for other reasons, but they're not agents of weather change. Next one. So, as a little idea, basically we're saying world temperatures or anything on the planet, climate-wise, is going to be something to do with solar activity, modulated, or 11-year cycle, modulated by the magnetic links of 22 years, which together is going to give you a 22-year, and modulated by the moon, these 18.6 or 9.3 year retreat of the lunar nodes. So, if you think about it, well, when could these things happen together, like numerically? You know, we just sort of do approximations. We know it's not going to work accurately, but we'll have a go. Next one. So you remember from school, 6 times 22, or 12 times 11, the hard one, is 132. Okay. 7 times 19, about 18.6, is 133. So maybe every 132, 133, 131, 134 years, you're going to have similar Sun-Earth magnetic weather states. And it may be, therefore, that some big parameters of the weather might be similar. And there'll be lots of things we won't understand. So, I was at a dinner in Imperial College 2007, and they'd just been pouring with rain in Wimbledon, you see. So I said, you guys, you know, we got this data from a friend of mine in Trent Bridge, Terry Scully, who's a cricketer, and he goes, and what? They got there in Trent Bridge, under the bridge, marked when there were floods on the River Trent. So he gave me the dates, you see, and I said, oh, well, look guys, if this 132-year idea or something like that is accurate, then this floods now of 2007 corresponds to 1875. And then next year we're going to have some more and some more, and so on. And they sort of looked at me, oh yeah, let's see. Well, it happened. That's what happened. Okay, next one. Here you see, that's 2007. These are, in fact, what the Met Office said would be barbecue summers. Right? This is the Met Office barbecue summers. 2007, floods in Tewkesbury. 2008, floods wherever. 2009, more floods. So it's floods, as we predicted, not barbecue summers. So you should applaud that, I think. Alright, but this 132 or whatever is not, you can't do detailed predictions with that, I just have to say, but you can get broad brush things under certain circumstances, which we do, and that does help our long range forecast. But it's not the only thing by any means. Okay, next one.